in those strays and then he just left.
He went to make sure those strays could go.
I think it's high time you all left. Our sacred grove has sheltered you in...
Within the inner sanctum, of course. It is not for us to fight your battles. I assure you.
You did this grove a great favor.
Filho da puta esse aqui, cara. Tem que ser elfo. Tá, acho que, cara... Acho que é isso pelo ato 1. Deve ter alguma coisinha ou outra que é mais ainda. Só que eu tô afim de pulo. Olha que filho da puta. Vai ser na hora de... Mas eu vou, antes de dar um long, né? Dar um long. Ai, ai. Eu tô fodido.
Soldier.
Não, vamos. Vou falar com o Halcyon antes de fazer uma das coisas.
Oakfather's blessings to you. I studied one up close. Closer than most would care to be to those things. A drow attacked me and I defended myself. Afterwards, I was able to examine the tadpole that emerged. Hideous, but fascinating. Like nothing else in nature, I'm glad to say. Precious little. But I'm quite certain it can still be found. Precisely. Then perhaps I could have done, but in my eagerness, I put far too much faith in the abilities of Aradin and his band. We didn't even get close. There are few things that are too strong for me. And in other circumstances, I would have done the same. Perhaps. But best to not dwell on nights past. There are plenty more yet to come. Well, there's hardly anyone left to share the responsibility with. Few who witnessed the fall of Moonrise still draw breath. What Ketheric Thorm unleashed is not something that nature can undo by itself. I must do what I can. I studied the Shadow Curse for years, but to truly understand it and stop it, I must reach its source. Perhaps, but we'll put it from your mind for now. Once we near the curse, with such stimulating company, never better.
Vamos encerrar o dia, vamos? Opa!
Hellsfire. She's coming.
Ooh.
Well, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
Handler's the word, if it's all the same. My pup here's been unruly. And his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Will. But Karlak's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlak, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlak meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart. Don't you worry. That ship has long sailed the Styx. But a defiant pup must still pay his price. To wit.
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
Ooh.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms. Get used to the new form, pet. There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo. Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade. Karlach, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you. Oh, and Will, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
Holy folk.
God's damn her straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mazora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings. I'd count my lucky stars for it, but I reckon luck is on holiday. I'm only alive because my patron still has use for me. It's Mazora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds, but I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast. I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mazora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mazora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word.
Even in such fraught times as these, there's peace to be found in the stillness as evening draws in. I used to while away many hours just like these with my companion, though in far comfier surrounds. She preferred it when we were alone, curled up before a crackling hearth with some ancient, esoteric tome between us, ink glinting in the firelight.
By a Gerawn's lost nose! No! Tara is not any cat. She's a Tressum. And given your confusion, I'm guessing you've never met one. They're brilliant creatures. Fine company for any self-respecting wizard.
She'd be proud to see me keeping such fine company. The savior of those poor tieflings, no less. I've given her precious little to be proud of recently. After I was afflicted with my condition, I locked myself in my tower for an entire year. I was inconsolable, wallowing in my self-inflicted tragedy. I gave enough of myself, but Tara never did. It was her encouragement, her research that led me to my treatment. Once we knew that magically infused items were the key, she went out to find them for me. She saved my life. She has a good heart. You should recognize the same in your actions here. I'm sure she'd approve of me lending myself to your efforts. You remind me of her somewhat.
Ué,
There's a steeliness in you. An unwavering tenacity, even in the face of, to be frank, quite dire odds. Wish she were here for me to make a formal introduction. But I would never ask her to undertake such a journey. She's safer at home. Besides, she was always telling me I needed to spread my wings, so to speak. Find mortal friends instead of hanging onto Mistra's coattails. So that's what I'm doing. I hope. Sadly not. If I'm being entirely honest, my social circle is rather small. More of a dot. Or a pinhead. I've got acquaintances, certainly. Plenty of colleagues. Friends? Those are precious indeed. I hope, though we've only known each other for a short time, I might be able to count you among that number. Were I to recite that list, I fear we'd be here at dusk tomorrow. Many things, I assure you. But a conversation better saved for another time. With my condition as volatile as it is, I fear any undue... Go, enjoy your evening. Nothing better for the heart than a good night's rest. And mine is gladdened to know I'll have the pleasure of your company again come morning.
Looking at something? I'm looking too, but not seeing very much. Another quirk of my affliction. Preening in the looking glass? Petty vanity? Of course I miss it. I've never even seen this face. Not since it grew fangs and my eyes turned red. I don't know. I can't remember. My face is just some dark shape in my past. Another thing I've lost. What? I want to know what the world sees when it looks at me. What you see. Excuse me, I'm an eternally young vampire, not your doting grandmother. You can do better. What else? Very good. Now just tell me I'm beautiful and we can call it a day. How dare you? I thought we had something special. Still, you're nice too. I better get some beauty sleep. It seems I need it if I'm to catch up with the competition.
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Will hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that. Wouldn't be courage without the risk, would it?
Verdade.
I'll figure out a way to make it up to him. What are heroes like? Swords? Shields? Shiny
Shiny
things?
Falar com a caixa do Heart antes de dormir. Vamos fazer o logo.
So, that's what people mean when they talk about butterflies in their stomach. Did you want something?
Fine. What's on your mind?
I suppose some would commend our actions. Goblins would have razed that whole place to nothing if it weren't for us. No excuse to rest on our laurels, though. We've still got our own problems to contend with.
Quite splendidly, to give credit where it's due. You and I have shared some good times together, and it seems we have plenty in common.
É isso então. Descansar. Carla que é animadinho. Ah, não falei com a Laísa. Eu não vou deixar só ela no vácuo.
Speak.
Obrigado também. Vamos tentar fazer a conquista lá de bebida? Acho que tem agora, hein? Vinho, cerveja. Bom. Eita, mais um sonho? Segundo sonho.
I promised I'd be back. Don't worry. I have things under control. For now. You haven't been using the parasite's power. You think you don't need it. But things haven't gone as you expected. You hoped a druid as powerful as Halsin might be able to remove your tadpole. But he couldn't. You're desperate to be rid of it. Understandable. But you're looking for solutions in the wrong places. Yes. Halsin is correct. Your parasite is unusual. It is wrapped in magic that prevents its removal. Until the source of the tadpole's magic is destroyed, any attempt to remove it will kill you. You were lucky that Halsin knew this. His instincts are right. The parasites are merely a symptom of a greater sickness in Faerun.
Interessante.
The absolute aims are not yet clear to me, but its progress towards domination is clear. These parasites are more than illithid spawn. They are vessels for control. The infected hear the voice of the Absolute and believe it to be a god. You witnessed it yourself with Priestess Gut. That is how the cult of the Absolute is spreading. The highest of their rank, the True Souls, carry a tadpole just like yours. It is how they receive their orders. It is what makes them obey. When the order to transform is given, it will not be a matter of days. They will be mind flayers in an instant. Were it not for my protection, so would you. I have powers of my own. Unique powers. But know that we are alike. Just like you, I was infected with a mind flayer parasite. Just like you, I seek to be free of it. I've been trying to escape from this evil for a long time. Once, I almost succeeded. Now, through you, I've been given a new chance. You can go where I cannot, and I can protect you from that evil.
Essa, cara, faz nem
If we
sentido.
work together, we may turn this around. Hells, they need me. I have to go. No, it isn't safe. The power I used to protect you, I stole it from someone. They want it back. I will hold them off for as long as I can, but sooner or later I will be worn down. You must discover the source of the magic that controls the parasites before that happens. The cultists are gathering at Moonrise Towers. Use the powers your parasite gives you to convince them you are one of them. And when you find the source of their magic, destroy it. Go. Our freedom depends on it.
Bom. A galera teve outro sonho, será? Também?
Another visit
Opa,
from Golden
todo mundo
Paladin.
teve outro sonho.
It said we'll get the answers we need about the tadpole if we infiltrate the cult.
Mesma coisa.
Indeed. We were both part of Zariel's inner circle. Her by choice, me by force. In the grand scheme of things, I'm inconsequential to Zariel. Sure, I've got the engine, but I wasn't even her strongest fighter. She favored me like a child favors a captive pet. Mizora envied the attention, I suppose. I'm sure when Zariel gave her the order to hunt me down, Mizora was delighted. I don't know. You'd think she'd have more important things to do. Devils and their pride. No kidding. The fighting, the chaos, the betrayal. It had the makings of a good stage show, but I did not want to be one of the players.
I had another visit from that dream figure.
Também.
I take it you did too. It claims that if we infiltrate the heart of the cult that's giving out these parasites, we'll find the answers we're looking for. It gave me another gift, too. Just like it did the first time it appeared. Rather generous, if you ask me. And while we're at it, we can see how many more of these little worms we can harvest. Now, was there anything else?
Another dream. Another order from that dubious visitor. It announced that we will find the answers we seek in the absolute cultist's lair, and offered another generous gift. A persuasive creature. It tempts us with power, expresses its admiration, its adoration. Avert your eyes whenever it appears, and do not avail yourself of this new power. You've no idea what damage it could do to us, how far into illithid madness it could drag us. Well chosen. Battles are won with swords, not mind games born of brainworms. And there will come a battle. Of that I'm most certain. The one truth that fell out of the dream figure's cankered lips. It is a certain. I had assumed our parasites served a Geich elder, but I believe they serve a greater master still. Perhaps. Absolute may be a mere pseudonym behind which this master hides. Whatever this voice, whomever this master, it dominates dreams and unites minds.
Interessante.
You wish to speak?
I had another dream last night. The visitor came to me and ordered me to penetrate the heart of the very cult that's spreading the infection. It gave me a tadpole gift too, just like it did the first time it appeared. I suppose it hoped this would help. At first, I thought we should avoid these gifts no matter what advantage we gain. And yet, I can't help recall the words of my father. The best plan is the one that works. These powers could be enough to edge us towards victory. Then we do well to walk around it. Use these powers sparingly, if you must use them at all. A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to. We can have all for it, but it won't so much as chip one of her nailed claws. She'll escape to the hells, and if we succeeded, my life would be taken in exchange. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mazora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads. I'm so sorry to give you another reason to sleep. She won't touch you unless there's something there for her to take. Don't give her so much as an inkling there might be.
Tá muito estranho isso, cara.
Of our
Eu tô
enigmatic
confuso com essas
visitor
paradas
again.
todas.
She told me our purpose was to take on this cult of the Absolute, to infiltrate its ranks and bring it down from the inside. She even offered me greater powers, the result of some manipulation of the tadpole's psionic abilities. Given the magnitude of what we're up against, I see no harm in considering the benefit this offer might afford us. Could be the only way to reach this source in one piece. I admire the vigor with which you uphold your principles, but I would remind you that the evils of the Absolute are far greater than any moral compromise we might make by using our tadpole's full potential. Your confidence in our existing capabilities is quite rousing, though. Perhaps that spirited enthusiasm will be strength enough to subdue the cult when the time comes.
Falta quem pra falar? Só a Shadow, né?
I had another dream. Which, I suppose, means you did as well.
Yep.
Whoever's reaching out to us truly does seem opposed to the Absolute, but wants us to embrace the tadpole. Venture right into the heart of the cult. Perhaps we truly have a secret protector. Or we're walking into a trap. I'm not sure what else I can say, at least until I can remember more. She taught me, trained me, punished me. Often, I think I feel her influence when the wound pains me. Not even memories, just glimpses, impressions. Perhaps the wound is her doing, something Lady Shah bid her to do. I don't know. Very serious of you. But go ahead. It's strange. I've been dwelling on what I told you before about wanting to become a Dark Justicia. But perhaps I should be content with my lot. I'm already blessed to have you at my side, after all.
Ah, que fofinha, cara. Enfim, vamos dar um pet no cachorro. Ah, tem que dar os buffs primeiro, também, não podemos esquecer. Pet no cachorro. Pet. Vai dar boa sorte. Vambora. Buffs.
There's no time to waste. On I go.
Which way to the nearest library?
Whatever comes, I'm ready. Let's try this way.
Your desire?
Perfeito.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Uhum. Então, vambora pro Underdark.
Best be on my way.
Eita.
There's something I've been wanting to share with you, if now's a good time. It's difficult to put into words.
Isso,
I
mostrar?
think it might be easier to just show you. Use the tadpole. The connection. Come into my mind. I'm sure. I trust you.
Beleza.
I don't remember how it started. Only how it ended. I was fleeing.
Eita, que lá vem história. Olha, Shadowheart criança. Um lobinho, e Madru?
She asked my name. Can't remember what I said. Can't remember anything before those words. All I know is she saved my life and gave me a new home.
É o Madru, né?
With Lady Shah. It hurts. That's all I remember.
Something sparks in your memory about Selûnite rites of passage. You heard once about how they would send their children out into the wilds to navigate their way home.
Caralho, ela seguia esse Lune, será?
You're reading too much into things. A childhood bauble, that's all. Just because Selûnites claim something doesn't mean they own it. Lady Shah. But yes, her and those who saved me and taught me her ways. The Mother Superior. She made me who I am. At least as best as I can remember. She taught me, trained me, punished me when I failed her, which was often. Abuse. Nonsense. The Mother Superior made me strong. For the Dark Lady.
Uhum.
Very serious of you. But go ahead. It's strange. I've been dwelling on what I told you.
Uhum. Ai, ai. É isso então, galera. Vamos parar por aqui. Hoje já são 2h40 da manhã. E agora a gente vai explorar o Underdark. Caralho, mano. Cara, tem muita coisa ainda no ato 1. Impressionante. Olha a casa de chá que tá marcada ainda, cara. Não sei. O negócio aqui.
A long way to go still.
Bom.
Let me work my magic.
What a day.
Não me odeia, né?
What to do?
Anyway. Eu queria jogar mais, mas preciso dormir. Estou em férias, mas ainda tenho que trabalhar. É isso, galera. Obrigado quem assistiu até agora. E muitos segredos revelados sobre os personagens nesse finalzinho. E eu acho que essa guardiã aí vai dar merda, tá? Eu acho que isso aí vai dar merda. Não sei, mas eu acho que vai dar merda. E a Shadowheart provavelmente foi brainwashed. Ela vai se lembrar total. Vai descobrir isso provavelmente. Enfim, também tô ansioso pra ver o patrono do Astarion. Mano, o jogo tá muito bom, cara. E foi só o ato 1 ainda, nem terminamos ele. Ai, dá pra perder a vida nesse jogo. Enfim, obrigado a quem assistiu até agora. Salvar o joguinho, não esquecendo. Tamo junto. Boa noite, até a próxima.